Good evening, everybody. I'm going to go through the December 23rd NHL games because they just finished and I got stuff to do tomorrow. Might as well get it out of the way. So in the first period of the Coyotes and Avalanche game, Avalanche open up the scoring. It's Bowen Byram scoring from Ross Colton and at 8:37. Second period, Nichushkin scores from McKinnon and Taves at 1:27. Madsen would then score at 13:29 from Olofsson and Logan O'Connor. And then Olofsson would score one of his own in 1952 from Cogliano and O'Connor. In the third period, Kerfoot scores the Coyotes' lone goal at 16:56 from Carcone and Dursey on the power play. The Avs take that one 4-1. Seattle and Anaheim. In the first period, Seattle opens up the scoring. It's Bjorkstrand scoring from McCann, former Canuck, and Vince Dunn on the power play at 13:26. At 16:24, Vince Dunn scores one of his own from Matt Beniers and Thomas Tatar. Second period, Vachano scores unassisted on the power play at 6:18. In the third period, Tatar would score from Dunn and Beniers at 8:25. 14:01, Ziger scores, I believe, a Michigan goal from Medyukov and Terry. But that falls short and Seattle takes it 3-2. Alright, Chicago and St. Louis. In the first period, St. Louis opens up the scoring. It's Robert Thomas from Pavel Buchnevich scoring at 3:04. At 3:49, Bedard scores from Kurashev and Isaac Phillips. I believe that was a Michigan as well. And then at 4:12, Beauvillier, former Canuck, would score from Jared Tinerodi and Taylor Radish. Second period, at 20 seconds in, Nick Foligno scores for the Hawks from Kurashev and Radish on the power play. And then Colton Parayko would score from Sammy Blaze and Michael McCarron at 13:29. Jason Dickinson, former Canuck, would score from Radish and Tinerodi again at 15:54. Third period, Foligno scores from Tinerodi short-handed at 5:16. At 7:53, Brandon Saad would score from Kevin Hayes and Paranovich on the power play. Jake Neighbors would then score at 10:43 from Falk and Hayes on the power play. Kyrie would then score from Thomas and Buchnevich at 11:06. Falk would score at 17:53 from Torrey Krug, and then Kyrie would score unassisted on the empty net at 18:59. St. Louis takes that one 7-5. Alright, Buffalo and the Rangers. In the first period, the Rangers open up the scoring. It's Lindgren scoring from Brzezinski and Benito, former Canuck, at 7:19. Panarin would then score from Zibanejad at 15:35 on the power play. Dahlin would score for the Sabres at 16:37 from Jordan Greenway. Second period, Jack Quinn would score from Dylan Cousins and JJ Peterka at 1:42. Then 7:13, Zibanejad scores from Kreider and Wheeler. Third period, Middlestat would score from Jordan Greenway at 6:50 to tie it up, and then in overtime, Kreider would win it for the Rangers from Zibanejad and Fox at 2:28. They take that one 4-3. Alright, Islanders and Hurricanes. In the first period, the Islanders open up the scoring. It's Aho scoring from Palmieri and Nelson at 11:19. Terravana would then tie it up from Jarvis and Orlov at 12:22. Ballarak Nelson would, resurrect the lead for the Islanders at 14:43 from Mike Riley and Kyle Palmieri. In 18:25, Bo Horvat, former Canuck, will score from Barzal and Anders Lee to give the Islanders a 3-1 lead. Second period, at 59 seconds in, Aho would score from Bunting and Svechnikov on the power play. Mike Riley would restore the 2-goal lead at 14:12 from Barzal and Lee. Third period at 1:56, Slavin scores from Natchez and Svechnikov to put the Canes within one again, I think. Anyways. 3:44, Anders Lee scores from Noah Dobson and Bo Horvat, former Canuck. And then Stefan Nelson would score for the Hurricanes at 9:17 from Natchez and Shea on the power play. That falls just short. The Islanders take that one 5-4. Alright, Penguins and Senators. This one went back and forth a bit. The first period, Chychrun scores from Giroux and Norris at 11:07. Eller would then score from Riley Smith and Chris Letang on the power play at 14:31. Josh Norris would score one of his at 15:01 from Kachuk and Brandstrom. Second period, Kachuk would score at 2:10 from Drew and Chikrin. At 4:59, Raquel would score for the Penguins from Crosby and Smith. At 7:30, Brandstrom would score from Kachuk and Sanderson. And then we're going to move on to the third period. Drew O'Connor scores from Marcus Pettersson and Chris Letang at 1:51 to put the Penguins within one. Chris Letang would then score at 17:34 from Pettersson and Malkin to tie it up. And then Stützle scores in overtime, a minute and 10 seconds in, from Batherson to win it for the Senators, 5-4. Alright, Toronto and Columbus in the first period. Toronto opens up the scoring. It's Matthews scoring at 8:20 from Marner. Second period, 22 seconds in, Danforth would score from Gaudreau and Fantilli. Tavares would then score at 2:58 from TJ Brody and William Nylander. Matthews would score again at 8:21 from Marner and Nylander on the power play. And then Nylander would score at 11:51 of the third from Matthews and McCabe shorthanded. Toronto takes that one 4-1. Alright, Boston and Minnesota. In the first period, Boston scores. It's Pasternak scoring from Charlie McAvoy and Brad Marchand on the power play at 2:37. Second period at 5:57, Joel Eriksson Ek scores unassisted on the power play. And then Kaprizov would score 7:22 from Goligoski and Eriksson Ek to put the Wild up 2-1. Third period at 3:10, Marcus Foligno scores from Pat Maroon and Frederick Gaudreau to put the Wild up 3-1. And then Morgan Geekie would put the Bruins within one at 13:53 from Denton Heinen and Trent Frederick. That effort would fall just short. Minnesota takes it 3-2. Alright, Detroit and New Jersey. In the first period, Detroit scores. It's Kane scoring his third goal in 2 games at 4:22 from DeBrincat and Sider. Timo Meier would then score unassisted for the Devils at 11:43. Second period, Josh Despair scores for the Red Wings at 10:33 from Sprong and Fisher. Then Timo Meier would score unassisted again at 2:46 to the third. And then Toffoli would score at 12:45 from Brett and Hughes. That's Jack Hughes. And they take that one. New Jersey takes that one 3-2. Dallas and Nashville. So in the first period, there's no scoring. Second period, Nashville opens up the scoring. It's McCarron scoring from McDonough and Tomasino at 23 seconds. 6:33, Colton Sisson scores from Gustav Nyquist and O'Reilly on the power plays to put them up 2-0. Third period, Dodonov scores at 8:22 from Esselindell and Rick Hintz. Smith would score from Robertson and Pavelski at 19:45. Then in 1956, Hakanpää would score unassisted. Dallas takes that one 3-2. Alright, do the early game first. Vegas and Florida. This game I was rooting against Vegas because Vancouver is first, and this would help. First period, there's no scoring. Second period, Mark Stone would score. This is a rematch of the Stanley Cup final, by the way. So second period at 1:21, Mark Stone would score from Ivan Barbashev. At 8:58, Sam Bennett would score from Verhaeghe and Montour. Forsling would score at 15:16 in the second from Barkov. Then Dorofeev would tie it up at 19:37 from Hutton, former Canuck, and Kolesar. Third period at 6:10, Verhaeghe would score from Montour and Kachuk on the power play. Then at 8:09, Reinhardt would score from Barkov and Kachuk, also on the power play. Florida takes that one 4-2. Calgary and LA, this game just ended. In the first period, Quentin Byfield scores from Doughty and Kopitar at 1:01. Anderson would tie it up at 2:47 from Backlund and Mangiapane. Dubois would then score from Spence and Deneau at 15:20 to give LA a 2-1 lead. Second period, Blake Coleman scores at 4:01 from Sharangovich as shorthanded. At 6:28, Lafreniere would score from Doughty and Anderson. Trevor Moore would score at 9:57 from Matt Waugh. In the third period, Coleman would score at 7:18 from Ruzicka and Uyghur on the power play, and then Byfield would score second in the game at 19 minutes from Kempe and Kopitar and Timson. They take that one 5-3. And then my favorite game of the night, the one that put the Canucks at a, I think, 2-point lead in the overall standings going to Christmas. Vancouver and San Jose. The first period at 1:34, Kuzmenko scores from McCabe and Pedersen. Got my Kuzmenko jersey on here. In his first game back after being scratched again. He would score a second goal, his 8th of the year, at 6:51 from JT Miller and Elias Pettersson on the power play. At 13:32, Granlund would score from Duclair and Ferraro, and then Thomas Riddle would score 16:22 from Zadina and Ferraro to put the score even going into the second. Second period at 6:03, Neil Zoman scores from Teddy Bluger. At 8:36, Sam Lafferty would score from Ian Cole and Connor Garland. At 11:08, Fabian Zetterlund would score from Ferraro and Granlund at 11:08 to put the Sharks back within one, I think, yeah. And then Dakota Joshua would restore the 2-goal lead at 19:13 from Garland and Bluger. That third line's still coming up big. Third period at 13:16, Jake McDonald scores from Philip Zidia and Jan Ruda. 15:43, Suter would score from Hughes and JT Miller. And then Hughes would score unassisted into the empty net at 19:47. Vancouver takes that one 7-4 and improve to 23-9-3 and have a 2-point lead over everyone. Well, over Vegas at least, atop the standings. Anyways, that's going to be it for the next few days. I hope you liked it. Hit subscribe if you did. Hit like if you did. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.